Okay, awesome. All right, so Success Club from September 23rd. Jennifer Best at Success Club. These are all 4. Jennifer Best, Amanda, Zulist, Caitlin Taylor, Jen Sansoni, Matthew Jackson, Valerie Nelson, Celine Bacardi, Beth McDonald, Liana Vizcarrondo, Priscilla Perry, Marilla Hurst, Ralph Schooner, Andrea Wallace, Terry Bocklett, Susanna Bell, Tammy Haiti, Lauren Kellum, Amy Morgan, Joanne, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Ungst, Sarah Manelli, Liz De Arruda, Todd Leonard, Joanne Ungst was a Success Club 4, was the last one at SC4. SC6 is Sarah Molinelli, Liz De Arruda, Todd Lenhard, Ashley Dyer, Delaney Cleason, Maribeth Darling, Marie Sardelli, Jill Wagner, Chris Bocklett. At Success Club 8 is Kelsey Connor, Olivia Brackett, Emily Crushore, and Kelly Marks. At Success Club 12 is Ashley Fell-Dyson. At Success Club 14 is Cassie Schmelzinger, Casey Bocklett. And at SC 16, as of September 23rd, is Lindsay Redding and Carrie Steelman Schmidt. That is amazing. Awesome job, guys. And we still have, 5 days left in the month. And the week leg volume. So this was for the week of September 14th to September 20th. Week leg volume starting at the bottom. Week leg 30 club is, let me make this bigger. And Brittany Miller, Marilla Hurst, Anne-Marie Vichers, David Yeckel, Margaret Mackerer, Tyler Smith, Brittany Dimmick, Benjamin Maloney, Melissa Virgil, Emily Bocklett, Sarah Olinsky, Keith Freed, Delaney Cleason, Jenna Skivington, and Suzanne Reyes. At the 500 Club is at the 500 Club is Tim Ottaway, Beth McDonald, George Davies, Kelly Marks, Alyssa Debbie, Craig Schmidt, Kerry Stillman Schmidt, Lauren Kellum, Jill Wagner, Amy Morgan in her second business center, Beth Reelman in her second business center, Danielle Hills, Michael Bocklett, Amy Reelman in her second business center, Peter Reelman, and Shauna Valenta. In the 1000 Club is Joe Policino, Stacy Slade, Emily Crushore, Marie Sardelli, Patrick Reelman in his third business center, Gage Ecker, Robert Rodriguez, Charles Wallace, Brooke Reed, myself, Ashley Fell-Dyson, Chris Bocklett, and Caroline Nathan. In the 2000 Club is Amy Morgan. 3000 Club is Alyssa Sardelli, Wade Kephart, Terry Bocklett, and Amy Reelman. 5000 Club is Michelle Phillips and Patrick Reelman in his second business center. And the 10,000 Club is Andrea Wallace, Patrick Reelman, and Beth Reelman. That is my goal. So thanks, guys, for being here tonight. I'm going to hand it over to Kerry because Kerry she had a great idea by having her friend be the guest speaker on the call tonight. So I'm going to let her introduce her.
Hey, how's it going, Team Boom?
Yay!
Miles, there we go. All right, so I am so excited. Unicorn sweatshirt, excited to introduce my girl, Lauren. She is on our call tonight. She was actually on the National Wake Up Call, and it's because she's awesome. She is a 3-star diamond currently. She's 1-star qualifying in her second CBC. You can find all of her greatness at The Fit Law. So I'm going to go ahead and just give her a plug right now. You guys need to follow her. Her content is incredible. Follow her everywhere. She's snapping it up. She's Instagramming it up. She's got stories. So go ahead and follow her at The Fit Law. And if you want to follow her husband, Mr. Fit Law. Thought that was pretty cool. She's actually a trained chef. Her eggs are bomb.com. She has made them for me. Very good. She's a mom of 2. She is on the Grand Rapids, which is in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan Market Council. So if you guys are in that area, you may see her at one of those events. And she actually has a video that's gone viral with 20 million views working out. So anyway, we are so lucky. I'm so excited to introduce Lauren to you guys. And yeah, I hope you're still here because I can't see you right now.
I'm here. I'm here. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Okay. Just wanted to check. I can see me, but I just want to make sure the rest of you can too. So she said I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's going to be for about the next 2 weeks. And my husband just got relocated to Toledo. So anybody in Ohio, we're going to be around that area. So I will be shifting Super Saturdays as well. But as Carrie said, I'm a mom of 2. I'm a trained chef. I obviously don't work in the restaurant field anymore. If any of you guys have kids and have ever worked in a restaurant, you know that that's not conducive to mom life, right? Working till 2 a.m. is not awesome when you have a baby at home. So for me, I just a little bit of background before I jump kind of into the core of what I want to talk about tonight. I started my Beachbody journey 3 years ago. My son is 5. My youngest son is 5. So I gained a lot of weight during the pregnancy. You know, I was that girl. I was like, I'm not going to gain any weight. I'm going to be the skinny pregnant girl that goes right back to the way I was. And I was in super uber denial. But, you know, the Arby's had different plans for me and my body. So I gained about 65 pounds and had a really hard time losing it. I was the quick fixer that you guys all talked to that tried the pills and the HCG and the lemonade, cayenne pepper, whatever bullshit diet, and tried all of those things to lose weight. And of course, none of them worked. They just didn't work. And so I finally decided I'm going to try Insanity. Jumped right into that. Probably should have started with something a little easier. But no, I started with Insanity. First thing, did it for 2 days and quit. And then I did it for a week and quit and kept giving excuse after excuse after excuse, mainly blaming it on my husband, as Carrie said, Mr. Fitlaw. He does this with me. Blamed it on my husband for a really long time, finally got sick of it and said, you are uninvited to my workouts. I'm doing this myself. Don't come near me. Don't talk to me. I'm going to do this. And I did T25 all the way through, lost 12 pounds, finally had a revelation. Holy crap, I'm a chef. I know how to make food. I probably should be eating right too. And that's when I started 21 Day Fix. I did a 3-week period for that. Obviously the 21 days, lost the same 12 pounds as I did during Alpha Beta Gamma of T25. So that convinced me that the nutrition was key. So that's just a little bit about my background. And as Carrie said, I do primarily work on social media. I would say 99% of my coaches and customers come from my cold market. So that's really what I wanted to focus on tonight, is talking to you guys about cold market scripts. And I know they always sound so boring and not fun, but I've really figured out how to make this about me and my brand and really carry that through the back end, because I feel like so many coaches nowadays get this idea in their head that they have to be authentic online and they have to put on this great front and be authentic, but then when they get into the back end of a conversation, they turn into a completely different person. They get really salesy, they get really gross, they start saying things that they normally wouldn't say in a conversation, right? They kind of clam up and think that they need to go into sales mode. So I want to talk a little bit about my cold market scripts, because I've been using these I've obviously developed them over the last 3 years, but I've used them consistently for the last 3 years and really developed them so that they work for me. So here's my little disclaimer. As you guys know, anything that I share with you, it is not a word for word copy and paste, because you are not me, okay? I have these really, really simplified. And the reason they're so simple is because I want you to add your own words. And the other thing I'm going to say is 99% of the time, I am doing this from my car. I am doing this from Starbucks. I am doing this on the road. So voice messaging, especially on Facebook, which is what I use primarily. That's my social media of choice. That's where my video went viral. So I have about 100,000 people that I work with on there for my cold market, but I voice message like crazy, and I really, really highly encourage phone calls. So even though this is going to be a lot of text that I'm going to share with you, all of this I have done spoken word. I've done it face-to-face, I've done it over the phone, and I have done it in voice message. So I don't ever want you to think that you're not able to do that, because I can tell you right now, the number one thing I teach my new coaches is if you're not having success with inviting, you need to get on the phone. You need to start picking up the phone and calling people, because that's going to help you, right? It's going to push you out of your comfort zone. You're going to you're going to feel really weird the first couple times, but it's going to help with your written scripts. It's going to help with your day-to-day conversations. It's going to help with your face-to-face interaction, because it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. So if you've never done a recruiting call for a coach or a challenge pack ever over the phone, that's your next goal. Is I want you to call somebody tomorrow and talk to them about this, okay? Because I can guarantee you're going to be able to give them a lot more information and talk to them on a more personal level if you pick up your phone and call them, all right? And I know I just made some of you super uber nervous. So All right, I want to start with cold market scripts because this is where I feel like I really shine. So I'm going to share this with you. You have access to all of these. I put them in a Google Doc, so I have the tiny URL for you. It's going to be at the top, okay? So I'm going to jump right in, but before I share my screen, I don't want you to all get distracted. I am not, I don't know what you guys believe, but for my team, I really don't teach them to reach out to people that like their page. That's not something that I've ever done, is those cold scripts. I just don't work that way. I know that some people do, and if that works for you, that's fantastic. I don't teach my coaches to do that. If you guys have ever read this amazing book right here, Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk, he's my spirit animal. I love him, mainly because he swears as much as I do. But he talks about how it doesn't matter how many, oh yes, and like I said, I do curse, so I'm not gonna make any apologies for that. If you got kids, I'm sorry, in the room, but cover their ears. But what he says is it doesn't matter how many followers you have, it matters how many give a shit. And that's what I really focus on, is my interaction on my page. I see so many of these people. How many of you guys have done the Jesse Reagan training? I'm in it, by the way. Yes. Okay. It's fantastic, right? It's really great. But one thing that I feel like is missing there is that they focus so much on like finding your winning ad and doing all this stuff, right? But what I really see on a lot of pages is they have all of these likes on their page, but then you go and you look at their content and they have 1, 2 likes on a post, right? They don't have any interaction, and that's the problem. That's not going to work for your business. You want people to give a shit. You want people to follow you like you are Kim Kardashian. You want them to know everything about you and your life, okay? As much as you want to share. All right, I know we all don't want to be Kim Kardashian. I know I don't, but I definitely would love to have her kind of following, right? Like that would help my business. So I want to make that very clear. My main goal is getting people to interact with me. So when I talk about the 80-20 posting for Beachbody, I mean it. I mean, if I go look at your page right now, I would love to see the 80%. I don't care about the 20 yet. I want to see the 80%. So like, what are your, you've done this exercise, I'm sure, a million times. What are your 5 things? Who are you in a nutshell? Like, that's what I want to see. That's what makes you interesting. Like Carrie, who obviously I met at NLC. I mean, what makes her, do you see her head right now? Like her braids, people follow her specifically for her hair. Like that's how I explain her, right? When I'm like, oh yeah, my friend Carrie, she's got crazy effing hair. Like you got to see this girl. Let me show you a picture. Like immediately that's what I go to. It's not the Beachbody coach. It's that she's a pole dancing girl with crazy braids and she's got awesome abs, right? That's what I want to see. And that is why I get such great interaction when I do post an invite. Okay, so the way that I preface this is that these cold market scripts are for people that have commented below on some kind of post that I've done. All right, so if you go and look, I know some of you are on your computers, but if you have your phone out, if you type in The Fit Law and on your Facebook and you go, I have a pinned invite. And I want you to look at this too, because how many of you guys have put a before and after picture online and you're like, hey, if you want to lose 30 pounds and join my next challenge group and drink Shakeology with me, comment below. Right? I feel like we get into sales mode. So I want to show you the kind of invite that I put up. All right? Because that is something that I'm very proud of, is that when I invite to a group or when I invite to a sneak peek or when I invite to anything in my business, I talk like me. I invite like me. I do not change the way that I approach people just because I'm trying to get them into a challenge group, because I do not want them to have false expectation that getting into my challenge group, I'm going to be a totally different person. Okay? So to start this off, that is how I start it. I ask people to comment below. I maybe put these up twice a month. I understand that if you have a little bit of a smaller following, it's going to be more frequent. You're going to have to do more one-on-one conversations. But this is where I start. I ask for people to comment. I ask for people to interact with my posts. And a lot of this comes from, you've seen a lot of this curiosity marketing. If you were at Summit, Chalene Johnson talked about this. I never, ever, 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 ever post the name of the workout I am doing, ever, ever. Or the name of what I'm drinking. This is my salad tastes like chocolate. It's not Shakeology. I call my, I'm trying to think of a good one. Shift Shop was my sports agility program. Unicorn Crack is what I call Energized, right? I have different names. And the reason for that is so people go, well, what the hell's that? What is this unicorn crack you're drinking? They ask me more questions, which then in turn mean I can be like, oh girl, I'm going to message you and we're going to talk, right? And I can get that off of my main page. So, all right, you guys ready for the good stuff? Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I could do that, right? Yeah, okay. Like, I can do that here. All right. So I am not going to make no apologies for my spelling. If you see something misspelled, that's part of my brand too. I cannot spell. I have bad grammar. That's just me. So all of these can be found at tinyurl.com/thefitlosscripts. So I just uploaded this, so you guys have access to this as well. Again, disclaimer for the second time, you do not copy and paste my scripts. I love you, but you are not me. So write it yourself. The best way to do that is to read, put another Word document, take out the meat, and rewrite it just like you would be having this conversation. So these are used for people that are doing one of the following things. They comment on a post for more information. So if you looked at that one that was on my page, I asked them to comment, "Feed the hungry bitch," and I'm not even kidding. I had 800 people comment, "Feed the hungry bitch" on that thing, and talked to 800 people for this because they thought it was funny. I don't even know if they all wanted information. I think some of them just wanted to swear publicly online for the first time in their life, right? I don't care why they did it, but they took the initiative and they commented. And this is the script that I send them, okay? This very first part right here. And this is also someone that would message me on my page or on my personal page or send me a Snapchat or whatever. I don't care where they contact me. This is how I respond. I say, they say like, "Hey, I'm ready to get started," or whatever. I always say, "Hey girl," that's my thing. "Hey girl, hey lady, hey chick, like what's up," right? Like that's how I talk. So I usually go, "Hey girl, would love to give you some more information." I always am gonna put, you'll see these little things throughout my scripts, personal response to what they said, okay? Scripts does not mean that you're scripted. Scripts means that you have the meat of what you need to ask them. It does not mean that you are literally copying and pasting the same thing for every person, because our main goal is to get people results. And I'm not going to have the same program as my mother or my grandmother, right? Like people need different things. So you have to pay attention. When you're going through and you're doing tons of messages, I get it. It's really easy to just do the script thing and just copy and paste and not look at it. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to work. You're going to leave so many points on the table, first of all. And second of all, you're going to lose a lot of people through the cracks because they're going to look at you and immediately go, "Dang, she's not genuine. Like she does not care about me. She just wants to get through this conversation," okay? And I can tell you right now, I am talking to way more people than you, so you do not have an excuse, okay? Because I have woken up sometimes in my inbox and I have 900 unread messages. So I have no sympathy for the amount that you have, because I have done more, okay? So if I can go through and be authentic to each person in my inbox, so can you. All right, so I'd love to give you a bit more information. Thanks so much for reaching out. I usually put something like, I love using hashtags when I'm not supposed to, so I'll usually put something like that in there. Super simple. Can you tell me about your health and fitness goals? Okay, if this is coming off a post like that hungry bitch one, I change this up based on what kind of invite it is, right? So would love to give you a bit more information on the group I'm running. I know that hungry bitch in the back of your head can be totally a pain in the ass. Like I get the struggle. Can you tell me a little bit more about your health and fitness goals, right? So you can change this to use it, but the meat is always the same. And so these are actual responses that I've gotten. And so I just worked these in to give you guys an idea. So somebody would reply with, "Sure can." So at my heaviest, I was coming in at 180 pounds. Could have died when I saw that. Not healthy nor in shape. You know, you guys can read the rest. I have 3 boys. Honestly want to look nice, blah, 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 blah. Right? So this is an actual message that I had. And every single person that I put in here, I sold them a challenge pack or signed them as a coach. So I just want to make that very clear. Because I wanted to use real things, because these are the scripts that I used to get these people on board. All right? So these worked for that. So the next thing that I respond is, personally respond to what they said. Do you see how that's at the top? Personally respond to what they said. So in this situation, I would say something like, "I want to look nice for my 16-year-old's upcoming graduation." I would have said something like, "Yeah, I totally understand that. I just went to my 18-year-old brother. He just is going to Texas A&M, and he just graduated too. And I know that there's always tons of people at graduation parties. So I totally understand the urge to, want to look good for your friends and family," right? Personal response makes me seem a lot more like a real person and not like this unattainable thing online, right? And I always come back to this. So what do you think the hardest thing for you is when it comes to, depends on what they need, right? Losing weight, getting healthy, toning up. You're not going to say losing weight to everybody, because not everybody needs to lose weight. I would not say that to Carrie, because Carrie does not need to lose any weight. She wants to get jacked, right? So like I would ask her about that. Like, what do you want to do to gain muscle, right? Like I would have that. But the things are always the same. Workouts, time, motivation, food prep, and actually I changed motivation to something else. I changed it to dedication, because I went on a rant on my page about how I think motivation's bullshit. So that's actually not accurate. I changed that to dedication. But workouts, time, dedication, food prep, cravings, or all of the above. And I get all kinds of responses for this. I get 2-word responses. I get paragraph responses. I get, everything under the sun. So I'm going to give you a little one. Time. Food prep is a hard one too. Personal response. Well, that's cool. I'm a chef. I can definitely help you with food prep. Like that's my forte. We can get you on Pinterest, get you a board going. I will get you involved in my support group. There's tons of recipes in the file section. This will be awesome. Can you tell me, have you tried any other products or programs in the past? I always ask this second for this specific reason. There are a lot of people out there that have done Beachbody before, okay? And I am a big believer that we can get them the results that they need even with what they have, okay? So if somebody already has Shakeology and 21 Day Fix, I'm not gonna try to sell them something unless they absolutely need it. Now, if they're working with Hip Hop Abs from 10 years ago or however long that came out, right? Or they haven't done anything since P90X, right, then I can talk to them about something else. But if they're like, I just did 21 Day Fix 2 months ago and I saw great results, but then I fell off, then I have a different line of questions, right? And you should be able to kind of go with the flow. So you then ask them, are you working with your coach? Did you drink Shakeology? Did you follow the meal plan? Blah, 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 okay? Right, you continue to go on that path. So the option number 1 is first steps, right? That's somebody that hasn't done anything. I had a gym membership before, tried counting calories, but I've never had a real plan. And then obviously I've tried a few things in the past, did the 21 Day Fix. That's the other line of questioning. So let's keep going. All right, so the way that I respond to somebody who says it's a first step. All right, so we have a few options that are gonna work for you. So tell me what workouts you normally enjoy or think you would enjoy. And I think that part's important because there are a lot of people that have never worked out before. Dance, cardio, yoga, weights, and I always give them options. Do you notice how I give them options? So I kind of am suggestive selling here. This is like a very, very easy business thing to do. I'm pointing them in the direction that I want the conversation to go, but I'm doing it in a non-threatening way. Okay, this is like sales 101. So if you've never read any business books, you definitely should, because this is what they're going to teach you. It's suggestive selling, right? It's just like when your waitress comes to the thing and they say, can I start everybody off with some cocktails instead of can I start everyone off with some drinks, right? Suggestive selling. And so we're doing the same thing. We're pointing people in the direction that we want them to go. So what do you think you would enjoy? Dance, cardio, weights, yoga, MMA, or do you have workout ADD like me and you need a variety? What's great for workout ADD, y'all? Or suggestive selling, Beachbody On Demand All Access. Hey-o, okay? And obviously the second one I kind of already went over. At this point, you can go into another line of questioning. That's all on there. So then, these are real responses. When I used to kind of work out, I always love reading these. I liked dancing. I think dancing, maybe cardio would be good. So even in this situation, immediately your Beachbody brain goes to, oh, UB2, country heat, size, hip hop abs, like you have that in your brain. But again, I feel like in this situation, I'm pretty much recommending Beachbody On Demand All Access to everybody, because why pay for one program when you can get them all? So the way that I would send this though is you're going to have access to 4 different dance programs, right? I tailor it to what they said. All right. And so then again, do you see how it's steps? So I'm not just sending them information right away. I have to talk through this with them. And I say, all right, lady, based on everything you told me, I think I got a great fit. It's called Beachbody On Demand All Access. Why don't I shoot you a full breakdown and you can let me know your thoughts. This is a step a lot of people skip. And the reason I ask permission is because I do not want them to be totally thrown off by my word vomit, because this is where the word vomit comes in. So instead, I ask their permission. You know what I mean? And every single person always goes, yes, please send me more information. So then when I send them this big, long, novel breakdown, they don't run the other direction and hide their head in the sand and never message me back. This is such a simple step that can, all of those non-responses you've gotten, you could probably avoid those if you just said this one little thing. If I send you a full breakdown, are you okay to take a look? Super simple, right? Now this is my huge breakdown. It's actually on 2 pages. And again, I put in my own flair and I say, be prepared for my novel. And this is what I tell them. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing because it's a lot. But I send this to every single person. And right here, let me see. Here, fitness and variety, because you have access to every program. So I'm trying to find it. And then right here, I usually would say something like, insert program suggestions, right? So that would be like where I'd be like, we have all these different dance programs that would be great for you, right? So you can actually tailor the same response to so many people because it really just gives them the breakdown, teaches you how to eat the right foods in the right amounts. You're going to get a different digital version of every meal plan so you can work through your nutrition, cooking show, containers, stream it through any device, all that good stuff. And this is how I explain Shakeology. Because so many people hate the word Shakeology. They hate it. They think they have like this thing in the back of their mind that Shakeology is disgusting and it's expensive and no way I'm ever going to drink this. So how I explain Shakeology is I say we also give you a superfood nutrition shake. It's like dessert. It's low glycemic index, non-GMO, all natural, and full of macro micronutrients. Do not say the word Shakeology one time. This is still curiosity marketing, because then what's the question I get back? Well, what's the shake called? Right? I prompt them to send me a response by not saying that. Okay, so I'm giving them part of the information, but not quite all of the information. And that is very, I do that on purpose, okay? And then as soon as you get started, you're placed into a lifetime support group full of people looking to better their lives. It's beyond helpful to have a community to turn to, because we all know the hashtag struggle is real. Of course, you will always still have direct contact with me as well. I will be your coach after all. Again, we're ending with a question. Does that sound like a good fit for you? And this was the actual response I got back from this girl. It sounds great, but when I talked to my husband, who will also, this was a joke about my husband on Snapchat. He's going to ask me how much it is going to be a month. With 3 babies and only 1 income, I have to be super careful. Notice what else I didn't give them in that big breakdown. Anybody? I didn't say the price. Right. I didn't say the price in there. And that, again, was very intentional, right? Because number one, I don't know where they're located. 2, I have people from all over the world. And once we get the UK into, their pricing is going to be different. So I have 3 different breakdowns for this. I have US, Canada, and UK. Okay. I try to find that out at the beginning, especially if you're working from a Facebook page. You guys get that information on the side. So I try to do a little bit of detective work and figure out where they're from. Now, I do my tracking in Teamsy. I don't know if you guys do that, but for me, or even if you're just doing it on Facebook, you can write notes. So there you can say Canada, UK, you can write where they're from so you know exactly what price breakdown you're sending. Because I hate sending a price breakdown to somebody in Canada and then they're like, wait, is this Canadian or is this used? And then I have to pedal back, okay? So I always write that down. So I have 3 different breakdowns in there. So here is, again, this is like business 101 here, suggestive selling. So we have a few packages to pick from. They range all the way up to $250, but I don't think that's necessary unless you're looking to add a cleanse before you start. I just never want you to waste your money on stuff you don't need. Now, I always say that because some people do want the Kickstart, and I do sell them because they're like, well, I want to know about the cleanse. If they want a cleanse, they're going to let me know that they want a cleanse, okay? But I'm trying to sell them a $160 challenge pack. The Kickstart is amazing, and I've upsold it many times, but my main goal is to get them Beachbody On Demand All Access, Shakeology, and the container system, okay? So this is how I say it. My favorite package is the one that I personally started with called the Challenge Pack. It's nice because it's our middle of the road package, saves you the most money, comes with all this crazy, amazing stuff that I just told you about. Everything we just talked about and a little more. This package is normally $199. It's on special for $160. Does that package sound good? And again, sounds good. What's my next step? Sounds great. I need to talk to my husband. Whatever they have. How many of you guys have gotten this response? Sounds great, but I need to discuss this with my husband and see what he thinks before I move forward with this, right? I was not that way. If I was the wife that was like, I bought this and you don't have a say, right? But there are a lot of women that I talk to that say that. Either way, how somebody responds, I always respond in the same way. I say, you know what? Even if they say, I'm going to talk to my husband, I go, you know what? That's awesome. I totally understand that you need to make financial decisions together. Why don't I still send you the order to your email so that you have that, and then you can show and walk through that with your husband. There's no questions. You'll have all of the information you need right there. Okay. I always enroll people through the mobile app because I think it's the easiest. But that's just me. And this is my yay, you've decided to sign up script. So I go all the way through to the end, y'all, like all the way down. Okay. So this is something I just recently added, and again, this is personal preference. If you don't like to tell people about discounts right away, that's totally fine. If you want to get people into a challenge group, that's totally fine. I have just recently started doing this, and what I've noticed is 99% of the time people just decide to sign up as a discount coach. And that's just worked for me. And I say this, so all I need for you to get started is the email and flavor of Shakeology you want. I give them those options. And then I also need to know what membership you want to sign up with. It's the same price either way, but we do have a few options. You can stay a basic member, pay full price for products and programs moving forward. Easy as that, nothing else to be done. Or you can sign with our VIP membership. Again, I'm not calling it coaching yet. VIP membership, which gives you a 25% discount on your Shakeology and other products. There's a $15 membership fee, but overall you save about $30 a month. And if they want more information on that, I do send them that little graphic. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, where it compares the basic membership to the coaching thing, and I can send them as more. And I say either way, it's cool with me, girl. I'll send you everything your way. So to recap, I need your email, flavor, and basic or VIP. So those are basically my scripts. And I use those with pretty much without fail to 99% of the people I talk to. And I would say that on an average month, I usually am anywhere between Success Club 40 and 60. And that's just worked for me. Okay. So again, I talk to a lot of people, and I have a lot of retention, but I also have a lot of conversations going on. So this isn't necessarily going to work for every person you talk to. And I'm a big believer in you have to kind of adapt to the situation, right? So again, I was a waitress and a bartender, and I worked front of the house, and I worked in kitchen. So I worked with people a lot. And one thing that they teach you, especially in culinary school, when you do table service classes, is they say you need to adapt to the people that you're serving. Okay. And something you learn is to act differently based on the kind of person that you're talking to. So that's why I have those little put personal information here, because that's our number one thing is we want to find out more about these people so we can connect with them on a one-on-one level. And that way we can help them to reach their fitness goals in the right way, in the right time frame, and be that support system for them. Okay. So that's why those are so basic on some points, and then they get a little bit more complicated as we get further into it. So yeah, that was kind of my spiel.
You are amazing. Let's see, what time do we have? It is 7:34 here in Kansas time. Do we have questions? That was incredible, because you know, so often we hear about like all the things that you do, like how to post and what you should be, what types of things you should be posting, what your profile should look like, how to do I don't know, Instagram stories, that kind of thing. But this is all the behind the scenes that is sometimes left unspoken.
Well, that's where the magic happens, y'all. I mean, your business is dead if you're not inviting, right? I mean, I don't know. I know Carrie was there. We had Brendan Bouchard talk to us at the leadership thing at Summit. And he talks about that. And he's like, or no, who was it? Somebody went on stage. What was McAllister? I can't remember. But they said, they gave like the actions of a coach, an emerald coach, a diamond coach, and they went through. And the one thing that was consistent is that your invites are never lower than 80% of what you're spending your time on, ever. And that really hit home with me. And I was like, you're right. Like, inviting is the most important thing. You have to be talking to people. This is a network marketing business. And the best way to network is to have conversations, right? And so I make it my job to talk to people. And I mean, that's what's so great about it is people will also start to say to you, holy crap, I didn't realize you were going to spend this much time talking to me. I get that response a lot when I start going through these. They're like, wow, you really actually care. You actually are taking your time. Because these conversations take 4 or 5 days, right? Like, it takes me a while to get through these because I have to wait for a response. So again, you have to be careful when you start these invites. I do them usually like now at the end of the month so that I'm prepared for next month, right? Where do we get the mobile app? So the mobile app is the Beachbody. It's not an actual app for your app store. It's like a website. I don't know if you guys use that to enroll people, but I think it's tbb.coachmobile.com. Let me find it. Hold on. And it's just like a mobile-friendly site. So like they used to have like the Body Beast one and stuff like that too. It's just the same way where it's like a mobile-friendly website for you to enroll people on, and it sends them an email with the order. Yeah, so I don't know if somebody can pull up I can't pull it up right now. It's not letting me, but no, it's not Coach's Code. Hold on, I'll get it. 2 seconds. I have it right here because I use it every day. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in the chat. There you go. So what do you say you use to keep track of your potential customers? I use Teamzy. I don't think I pay the $30. I think it's worth it. You know, it's less than one challenge pack purchase for me. So for me, the $30 a month is worth it, but I also am talking to a really high volume of people. So I think if you're still, I think anything under like 20 people a day, you're fine with pen and paper or like an Excel spreadsheet. I've just gotten to the point where I have a really big pipeline and I'm not able to keep up with everybody. Just like if I was writing down names every day, I would just get lost. So I need a place to actually physically take notes and make sure that I know what's going on, information, things that I've recommended, products that they're using, products that they've ordered. Like, I like to keep track of that. So me personally, I use Teamzy. I know some people use Google Streak and some other things like that. Now, for those of you who are on Instagram, you can save these scripts on the notes on your phone. For me, I have just downloaded them into my Facebook like Messenger. So you can, on your Fit page, you can go through and upload those scripts. How do you come up with the $30 savings? Yes. So that's what people don't realize. A lot of us say 20 bucks, right? We say it's a $20 savings because it's usually like 18. But what they don't account is that most people that are ordering Shakeology once aren't necessarily doing home direct. So they don't count the $16 in shipping. And so I always talk about that, right? And I'm like, you can order it once, but you're paying 16 bucks in shipping. So I always say $30 because if they are signing up for our VIP membership, they're automatically going to be put on home direct. And that's going to save them in shipping as well. So I always use the number 30. And so then if they ask that, I have that all put side by side for them. What's your process for getting new? Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that there were other ones on here. Okay. How long have you had your like page? So I've had my like page since about the beginning when I started. I was that coach that was like, I'm going to jump into everything. I need a fancy name and I'm going to get on Snapchat and I'm going to get on Twitter. And I did all of this stuff and got super overwhelmed. But obviously I'm really glad I did. I put a lot of time and effort and I hustled at the beginning on my Fit page. I really focused on it. Before the video went viral, I think I had about 4,500 followers. So not anything crazy. But the video took off in October of 2015 and I would say it hit 1 million within like a couple days. And then 20 by the next year. So within a year, it hit 20 million. And so then obviously that skyrocketed my page pretty quickly. So I was lucky, but I was also working. So I know everybody thinks it will be great to have a viral video and my life would change. But if you don't know what to do with those people, it doesn't do anything for you. Like if you don't know how to have the conversations on the back end, those people are just people. They're just numbers on a screen and they don't matter. Right. So I think for me, I've had my like page for about 3 years. I think off the video, I probably got around 60 or 70,000 followers from that. And then I just continued to make sure that I was producing content that would bring new people and really connect with my tribe. Because a lot of the people that came from there weren't my tribe either. So I'm constantly weeding out people that don't connect with me. And I would say the biggest piece of like who I connect with fully on a day-to-day basis is on Snapchat. I push a lot of people to Snapchat. I know everybody's on IG stories, but I'm a Snap vet and I will continue to be on Snapchat because I love it. And I would only say I have like 2,700 followers there. Like, so I'm not anything crazy, but those are my diehard people. And those people want to see my snaps every single day. And so that's how I've really like pushed like those people that I'm connecting with. And that's where I get a lot of sales from there as well. Do you use your personal page as well on Facebook? Yes and no. I've started to a little bit more, honestly, but everything on my personal page is public. Lauren Roberts, who's another person that was at NLC with us, she only uses her personal page and she really encouraged me to. And I noticed that I kind of get some interaction there, but I don't ever recruit there. Like I just don't. I use it for recognition. Sometimes I post random statuses when it's, 9 at night and I'm having a random thought and I'll just like post it really quick. But I don't really use it for anything recruiting wise other than adding people to groups and recognition for my team because that's where I can tag them. So that's pretty much the only thing is if I'm like shouting out a challenger, I want to be able to tag them on Facebook. So that's pretty much the only thing I use my personal page for. Let's see. What's your process for expanding your market and connecting with new people who don't comment on your posts? Again, I think it's the curiosity marketing. It's constantly sharing what I'm doing, but also being like a little secretive. Again, I never use the word Shakeology. I never say energize. I don't even use the words Beachbody. I say, I love my company. Like I say things like I love being able to work from home. I don't talk about it. And I know like I talk about it, but I roundabout talk about it. And I do that on Snapchat. I do that on Facebook. I do that everywhere. And do people know that I'm a Beachbody coach? Some of them. But I would say I get, 10% of the people that message me, they don't even know they don't even know that I work for Beachbody. The amount of people that'll tell me like, I didn't even know you were a Beachbody coach. And I love that. I love when people say that to me because I'm like, good. That's not the front thing that I'm portraying then is that I'm a coach, right? Because I want them to love me for me. And Danielle Natoni, who is my upline, she always says, she always goes, you're not representing Beachbody. You're not selling Beachbody. You're selling yourself. Anybody can go on an infomercial and order Insanity when they're watching it at 2 a.m, right? What you're selling is you as a coach, as a leader, as a mentor. And that's what you want to sell to people. So stop pushing Beachbody because they spend millions of dollars in advertising for you. So you don't need to do that. You need to advertise for yourself. Beachbody is a part of your life. It's not who you are. And so for me, I think a lot of, for expanding my market, is I give the people what they ask for. I'm a chef, so I do a lot of live videos with cooking. I have a really messed up sense of humor. I don't know, messed up is the right word, but like I am like the hot mess mom who is constantly joking about how my kids are terrible and eating Cheerios off the floor. Like that's me, right? And so I use that and I lean into that. And I've really started a team of women who are not embarrassed. Like that's my tribe. It's like women that are not embarrassed to be that mom. Instead, they embrace it and they feel like they're badass anyway. And so like, I just lean into it. I almost beat it to death, honestly. Like I have found my tribe and I found what works for me. And I continue to push that over and over and over again. Again, like Carrie, like I love following her because she always has the best content. Like I love watching her because she's like pole dancing and like doing crazy stuff on the beach and like taking, like, it just is so funny to me. But she does that because it's what she loves. And what she has found is people that love following her because she does what she loves, right? They're not following her because she's a Beachbody coach. They're following her because they want to see what her next hairstyle is, you know? So I think that honestly, I know that that's not necessarily anything revolutionary, but seriously, be you and like unapologetically, like don't ever apologize about who you are. Like seriously, I tried so hard. I remember the first time I said the F word on my page, my mom immediately called me and she goes, "Are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? You cannot put that online." And I was so distraught. And then now this was like, you know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And now I actually put up a picture of me with a big like bubble coming out with all the cuss word, like bubbles, like letters in it. And I was like, I don't know, I said some stupid quote with the F word in it, and then underneath it I put hashtag sorry mom on it, and she called me again and she's like, "You've got to be kidding me." So again, I just leaned into the fact that that's something that happens in my life and that my mom doesn't like it. And I told her, I was like, if you don't like it, you don't have to follow me. Like, you're not my tribe. You're going to buy Shakeology because I'm your daughter, not because you like following me on Facebook, you know? So again, I'm trying to connect with my people, and my people are blunt and out there, and they're a little crazy, and they don't do their makeup every day, and you know, that's me. So I think that's kind of how I expand, is I really lean into what people respond to, and I constantly do that because you're going to get the interaction that you're looking for. So go do your little quick thing on your Facebook page, look at your last 5 posts. Where have you gotten the most interaction? Make that one of your 5 things for the next few weeks. Do it consistently and see if you continuously get that interaction. Because if you do, then you know that that's something that your followers are connecting with, and you can continue to duplicate that. Because this business is all about duplication, and that's on every front, right? It's teaching your coaches, it's posting on social, it's having those conversations. It's just duplication everywhere. Sorry, I tend to rant. So like when you guys ask questions, I just go off. Okay, I'll stop.
It's great. Fantastic information. Any other questions?
I have nothing to hide. Nothing. I have all my secrets now.
Do you, do you use a virtual assistant, and what do they do for you? So
I have,
for anybody who's new, if you don't know what that is, a virtual assistant is someone, you can go ahead.
So I don't have a VA. I know a lot of people use a VA. I don't. I have an actual assistant. She like comes to my house and has a cute baby that I like to watch and, you know, get my baby fix from, because I don't need no babies, but I like to borrow them. And so for me, like she actually comes over. She's somebody, this is a really funny story. I actually met her because she was my waitress at a restaurant, and she was real pregnant. She was like really pregnant when I met her, and she started telling me about how she wanted to lose weight after she got pregnant with Beachbody. And so I, of course, started talking to her. She actually ended up signing up under a different coach, but I wanted to still be her friend because I liked her. So I continuously was like, you should come over and have coffee. Come bring me your baby. And we just became really good friends. And so she is my assistant. What I have her do is actually help me with messages. Because guys, when I say that I talk to a lot of people, like, I don't even want to tell you how many follow-ups I have to do right now. Like I'm looking at this number and just like wanting to hurl. Like I have probably like 300 or 400 throughout the next couple days that I have to get through. And I'm not complaining at all. But again, it's a lot of work when I still have challengers and prospects and people in my inbox that I need to go through. So I taught her my scripts, and I taught her how to do that. And she can go through and answer messages for me. Took me a long time to trust her with that. I was really not great at it for the first few months, but now I'm very comfortable with her, and she can do that for me. The other things that I had her do is she uploads team calls to my website. She has helped me ship stuff out. Like I sell Shakeology samples. Like this is so she ships out and packs those for me. She puts information up in my coach group. She, posts the National Wake Up Call every Monday in my coach group. She checks in our challenge group. Like she does my calendar because I suck. I text her when it's on my calendar instead of actually putting it on myself because that's how lazy I am and I won't upload it. Like that's kind of, I don't know. I kind of have her do like some miscellaneous things. But mainly for me, it's conversations because that's my business, y'all. Like I post on social, but I'm not going to give up my social media. I want to do that. That's me. So I will never, ever outsource that to anybody. So what I outsource instead is these conversations because I've already scripted these like they're me. So anybody can duplicate this, right? Like she can share that. She knows that she's talking as me and she's gotten comfortable with that and I've gotten comfortable with her. So when she gets to a certain point where she gets stuck, she immediately calls me. But other than that, that's probably the main thing that I have her do right now. So, yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else? I have pages upon pages of notes. I'm so excited about this.
Hey.
John Houston.
Yes, I would just like to say that it's really nice to have someone on here that is cut from a similar cloth as I am, and really great information. I really appreciate it, and in honor of being cut from a similar cloth, I'd just like to say you're the balls, the taint, and all of the area in between. Fuck yeah!
I love it.
That's my boy, John.
Yep. Props.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
All right. Fantastic. It's not a team call if John hasn't
said the word balls.
Yeah. Pretty much. All right. Brooke, are you still on?
I am absolutely still here. I am so excited about the script. I've already been looking at it. It's like absolute gold. I totally appreciate you sharing that with us.
My pleasure.
And I took a bunch of notes. I'm really excited about it. My team has already been texting about how excited we are.
Good. That's awesome.
We want to take your energy and we want to bottle it up somehow.
I know. Me too, because I'm not a morning person. I get this energy at night, and I said that to somebody the other day. I'm like, I need to bottle this and give it to myself in the morning because I need 6 cups of coffee before I'm this energized. But no, guys, and that's the other thing too is if these are working for you, please let me know. I would really love to hear that from you because I'm constantly trying to improve and make them better. So if these are working for you and you're following kind of the structure and it's working for you, please let me know. And if something isn't, let me know that as well because I'm constantly tweaking. I've been tweaking these over the last 2 years. So this is kind of what I've come up with so far that seems to be the most duplicatable. But I always want to obviously improve everything for everybody. So,
Lauren, how do you sell the Shakeology? I mean, not how, but how does that work with selling the Shakeology?
The packets?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have a store. Me and compliance have an understanding that I don't talk really about it publicly so much other than on Snapchat. But no, what I do is I sell, okay guys, I'm like a business mind. This is totally how my mind works. So I have a bunch of samples right back here. So I have every single flavor. I have Daily Sunshine. I got my unicorn crack, all that stuff. I order shaker bottles in bulk. And I sell 3 in a shaker bottle with recipe cards and shipping for $25.95. So I ship those out all over the country. I only do the United States right now, but I ship 3, I think it's 3 in a shaker bottle for, it ends up being $25.95. And I end up making a $4.30 profit on every single one that I sell. I've done all the math for that. And then I also sell a 7 packet sampler with a shaker bottle and shipping. I think it's $59.95 or $50.95 or something like that. So it ends up, I make a profit on it, and it's a really good way to ease people into Shakeology and also give them some good recipes. Because we all have those people that are a little bit I don't know, I want to try it before I buy it. And I'm like, okay. So instead of sending them to the Beachbody website, I would much rather be able to personalize it. So this way I can send them everything at once with the recipes, and I can put my little personal letter. I actually have a logo sticker with my FitLaw logo that I put on them. They're dishwasher safe. I tested them all. So they have my logo everywhere now. So that when they go to the park or they go to wherever, or they're in their car, they have my name on their cup. And so I did that very intentionally because I'm creating a brand. And again, I love Beachbody, and I will always be a coach, but I'm going to do whatever I can to make money on the side too. So if I can do this and build my FitLaw brand and make a cookbook, which is like my big goal, I want to do that. So do your research when it comes to selling samples. If you have a lot of people that really want to try it, I think this is honestly why they're doing Clean Week, is for this reason, because they want to give people samples. But I've been doing this for months, right? Like years. I've been sending out samples, and my coaches also purchase them too. Like my coaches are like, hey, I have somebody that wants to do this. Can I order samples from your website? So if you want to go check out how I package them, you can just go to thefitlaw.com/shop. Holy plug, there it is. But I have it up on my website. So you can go and check out my specific samplers and stuff and how I price them all out. But I can tell you right now, you will make a profit on them. So yeah, definitely look into it if you have a lot of people that are interested in checking.
What was the URL on that little plug again?
thefitlaw.com/shop. You'll see my awesome t-shirts on there too. So
Love it.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Pat, you want to do that thing you do?
Can you hear us?
Carrie, I'm going to let you do it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. All right. All right, team. Let's go ahead, Lauren. This is the way that we say thank you on Team Boom. Okay, so go ahead and unmute yourself, everybody.
Can I record it?
1, 2, 3. Good week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Willie. Good stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Clap.